Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, 2 are injured after an overnight shooting that led to a police standoff. Details on that developing story coming up.
There's still lots of questions there. Also, we have some new details in this morning about that crash that injured 3 kids at a Louisville school bus stop. That's coming up this morning.
And the blue-white game is tonight. We'll tell you about a special opportunity for UK students coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Also a big weather change. We'll tell you about that. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain. It's October 21st. It's your Friday, and I'm filling in for Andrea Walker. She decided to take the day off.
Well, good for her.
Yes,
you know,
have a
everybody
3-day
deserves
weekend.
a little October day off now and then, right?
Especially today when the weather's not so nice.
All of a sudden it feels like
Yes.
October, doesn't it? Yeah, and we're really getting into fall now. Let's check in with Micah in the First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Since Wednesday, we have actually dropped temperatures 30 degrees. I mean, that's going to be for the high, too. So you get toward the afternoon, we're going from 50s this morning to 50s this afternoon. It's not going to rise that much more. Reason being, rain's still out and about, and it's rolling through now the 75 corridor, especially central and northern zones. And that's another batch of rain that's going to be rolling on through. So it is a wet go at it this morning on those roads. You got to keep that in mind. Add another extra couple of minutes to that early morning commute because people tend to slow down a little bit when we get situations like this. We head through the day, look at 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. That's what I really want you to focus in on because that's when we start to see that rain on the decrease. 8 p.m., 48 degrees. High school football is going to be chilly. What about your weekend forecast, though? I'll have that coming up.
Lots to track, and we'll do it, and we thank you. Let's get to the news this morning. We have a developing story that we're on top of here at WKYT News. 2 people are hurt after an overnight shooting that then led to a police standoff in Lexington.
Police believe that around 8:30 last night, 3 people tried to rob a home in the Red Mile Road area, and at some point, 2 people were shot. And we're also told at least 1 person is now in critical condition. WKYT's Mike Byers live with more on this investigation. Mike?
In the Red Mile Road area around 8:30 last night. As a result, shots were fired that left 2 people injured. Now, police say they don't know if the 2 people shot were victims or suspects in the robbery. Police say an 18-year-old was shot 4 or 5 times and a 22-year-old was also shot. Now, one of the victims showed up at a Shell station on South Broadway asking for help, while 2 is now in critical condition while the 22-year-old is stable and in surgery. Minutes after the shooting, police say they found the gun they believe was used in the shooting on a sidewalk near the intersection of Red Mile and Unity Way. Police soon surrounded a nearby townhome where they thought a possible suspect could be inside. For about 3 hours, police tried to make contact with the person they thought was inside, and they think that person who had been home through a window and got away. They don't know that person's name or have a description of him. Now, police say they haven't been able to talk with the 2 people who were taken to the hospital, but they hope to speak with them later this morning, and they're also interviewing witnesses. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Thank you so much, Mike. Now we have new information this morning about the crash that injured 3 children at a bus stop in Louisville yesterday morning.
A heartbreaking situation. Police say an SUV driver hit the kids after swerving to try to avoid a school bus that had quickly come to a stop. Now we're learning that that driver could soon be facing some charges. WKYT's Lauren Miner is at our live desk with the details. Lauren?
Good morning. A scary and very difficult day in that Louisville neighborhood. Police say the driver of the SUV will be charged with having no insurance or registration. That driver was taken to the hospital and is in serious condition. The crash happened yesterday morning at 32nd Street and Dumanel Street. Police say they believe that the bus came to a quick stop and the driver of a Cadillac SUV swerved to avoid hitting the bus and did not see the children on the sidewalk. The SUV hit the children, pinning 1 child underneath the vehicle. According to WLKY in Louisville, neighbors ran over to help lift the vehicle off the child. Police shut down the route to Norton Children's Hospital and escorted 2 ambulances carrying 3 children to the emergency room. Neighbors say speed has been a problem along Dumanel, and they've asked for speed bumps before.
That's bad. That's bad because early in the morning, it don't make no sense to be driving that fast. They come through here, they be flying.
A hospital spokesman said 2 of the children are in critical condition and the 3rd child is in serious condition. All 3 are elementary school aged. We have also learned 2 of the injured children are brother and sister. A family member says the boy and girl attend Dixie Elementary School and were getting on the bus when they were hit. Reporting at the live desk, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
Lauren, thank you very much. 2 crashes in just a matter of minutes on northbound I-75, which was shut down for over an hour overnight. A crash happened just south of the Clays Ferry Bridge. Madison County rescue crews say just before 1 o'clock this morning, a semi crashed, blocking all northbound lanes. Fortunately, no one was injured in that. But then just a few minutes later, there was a crash on the other side of the interstate in the southbound lanes. Crews say 2 people were injured in that crash. About 2:30 this morning, all lanes had been opened back up.
1 person is injured after a car slammed into a Lexington store. It happened late yesterday afternoon at the AT&T store on South Broadway. And we now have surveillance video from that store that shows the crash. Just a warning this morning, you may find some of this video disturbing. This footage shows the woman driving straight into the store, hitting a customer inside.
I was just sitting there working with a customer, and I look over to my left and I see a car just bash through.
Police say the woman hit was taken to the hospital but does not have life-threatening injuries. As for the driver, police tell us she was driving on South Broadway when she swerved to avoid hitting a car in front of her, and she ended up in the store. She was also taken to the hospital to be checked out. Store owners say they hope to be back open within a few days.
A Kentucky Supreme Court ruling will affect Lexington's new minimum wage ordinance. The court struck down Louisville's minimum wage increase, saying it conflicts with state law and that Louisville's council overstepped its authority. Lexington city leaders say the ruling also invalidates the minimum wage ordinance that was put in effect here. Back in July, the Urban County Council approved raising the minimum wage to $8.20 an hour locally, and more increases were planned next year as well as in 2018. Reaction to that ruling is mixed in Lexington.
What I feel bad about is those that are, as a result of this decision today, those are less fortunate that are having money taken out of their pockets that they thought that they'd be getting.
It's a state and federal issue that they should be the ones deciding, not us on a local level.
Lexington city leaders say it will be up to individual businesses to decide now whether to keep their minimum wage at $8.20 an hour or lower it back to the federal level of $7.25.
So Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump rally support in must-win states today, a day after trading insults at an annual Catholic charity dinner in New York City.
Well, they sort of tried to be nice for a while.
Did they? I don't know. They did shake hands.
They did, right.
Yes.
The long-standing event is usually marked by some civility between presidential nominees. That was the case in 2012. But with this election less than 2 weeks away and as rough as it's been, candidates couldn't keep the gloves from coming off. Hannah Daniels has the latest from the campaign trail.
Here she is tonight in public, pretending not to hate Catholics.
Donald Trump's repeated zingers against Hillary Clinton quickly fell flat last night.
Everyone knows, of course, Hillary's belief that it takes a village, which only makes sense, after all, in places like Haiti, where she's taken a number of them.
Hours after a 10th woman came forward accusing Trump of sexual misconduct, Clinton issued this jab, calling Trump out on his critical comments about women.
Donald looks at the Statue of Liberty and sees a 4. Maybe a 5 if she loses the torch and tablet and changes her hair.
The white tie affair came less than 24 hours after the final debate in Las Vegas, during which Trump pledged not to accept the outcome of the general election.
I would accept a clear election result, but I would also reserve my right to contest or file a legal challenge in the case of a questionable result.
Stumping for Clinton in Arizona, First Lady Michelle Obama fired back.
The voters decide who wins and loses, period, end of story.
The Clinton campaign claimed victory yesterday after the cybersecurity firm SecureWorks said a Gmail account belonging to campaign chair John Podesta had been hacked by a notorious group of Russian-linked hackers. WikiLeaks still has about 27,000 Podesta emails that could be released before Election Day. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
The Clinton campaign says news of who is behind the hack on Podesta proves there is no longer any doubt that Putin is trying to help Donald Trump weaponize WikiLeaks. That's the quote from them. Clinton is hitting the campaign trail today in Ohio, and Trump will campaign in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. A record number of Kentuckians will be casting their ballots this year, or at least are eligible to. Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes announced that more than 100,000 new voters have registered since March. About 31% of the new voters registered online this year.
So what's better than attending a UK basketball game?
A few things, right? Getting free tuition for going.
That sounds good.
For the 4th year in a row, Coach Calipari is paying for 2 UK students' spring semester tuitions. All students need to do is to check into the Blue-White game tonight via the BBN Rewards app. The winners will then be randomly selected and announced at the completion of the game. They must be there to win, though. Tonight's Blue-White game will start at 7 o'clock. It will be on the SEC network.
So I still have my alumni card. Do you think I could give this a shot?
Give it a try. Maybe take a graduate class.
It may not be expired.
Right.
That would be fun.
We'll see how it works. All right, 5:41 is the time as we check live drive traffic on your Friday. And let's see what's going on. Looking at the region right now, you can see it is a clean and green that indicates no accidents. That situation again on I-75 near the Clays Ferry Bridge in Madison County was cleared in the overnight hours. No reports of any troubles. We do have this rain that is falling in the area now, and you can see that very clearly along with a little wind on that camera, the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government camera at Nicholasville and Pasadena. And the folks that are getting out there ahead of the crowd are unable to beat the rain this morning.
Yes, you can hear it here in the studio.
Yeah, it's out there. So
Take
that's
your
going to be
umbrella to work.
an issue for a while, and then it's going to be cool. We know that. All right, keep it here. More news coming up on WKYT this morning.
Yeah, you have to hear what an anchor said after one little letter was left out of his teleprompter. Oh, no.
This happens.
This does happen. That story's coming up when we come back on WKYT this morning.
I was wondering if we were ever going to show that story. That's a good one. You want to see that. Also, you want to see when the rain moves on out, how that's going to affect your weekend with maybe even some patchy frost. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It is a wet go at it early this morning. We can actually hear the rain there on the roof as it passes on by. With that rain, you're going to have some wind. It's just going to be a tough drive early this morning, no matter where you are. Southern Kentucky, far southern, you get in toward London, Corbin area, and also Somerset, those areas. A little mist going on, but what you're going to be dealing with everywhere else, wet roadways, rain, it's just not looking good across the region. Temperatures there in the low to mid 50s. So let's break it down for you what's going on. This front's moving through. It's pushing the bulk of the rain along with it. Now the mountainous region's dealing with that. What you see here, it kind of looks like a void spot. What that is just some mist, some patchy mist, some drizzle. Something to be watching out for as you walk out the door are these showers. They're gusty showers too as they roll through Franklin County, Woodford County, back towards, say, Springfield and Washington County. Anderson County heads up. Lawrenceburg, you're about to get in on the mix here very shortly. You already saw some rain early this morning, but a little bit more. And across Lexington right now, that's moving on out. It'll move off into Winchester and also Paris. And then take a bit of a break, and then here we go with those shots here and there. It's just little lines, little bands rolling on through. So let's take you hour by hour what we're going to be dealing with is we head out and about early this morning. By 7, 8 a.m., you know, kids going off to the bus stop, anywhere from 6 to about 8 a.m., this is what they're going to be dealing with. It's not going to look good. I'd say 75 over toward the east is the best chance of rain during that time. So maybe hop off in the car, keep them in the car there at the bus stop before the bus actually gets there, because it's chilly rain too. It's just not going to feel good, nor is it going to look good. Heading off toward noontime, that rain tries to move on out. Teachers, more than likely, you won't be able to get the kids outside at all today. And then going in toward deep into the afternoon, kids coming home from school, you coming home from work, you'll still have a chance at some showers, especially east and southeast. But watch as we go off into the evening, that fades away. I would say by 7:30, 8 o'clock when these football games kick off, we'll be in the upper 40s to lower 50s. It will be chilly. It's guaranteed. Once the game ends, you're sitting there in the mid 40s. We go overnight and into Saturday morning. Any 5Ks going on, we're talking about 30s tomorrow morning for many locations. So check this out. Average first fall frost. The first time on average that we actually see fall is October 14th. We're about a week behind. I don't see widespread frost anytime soon, so we may not hit it this weekend, but there is a chance. The latest first fall frost ever was November 9th in 1922. Talking about a 94-year-old record that we could possibly reach. You never know. And what we look for, 36 degrees and below. So we may be around that 36-degree threshold. We'll actually see, but frost can occur 36 degrees or below. Mid to upper 30s there for Saturday morning, guys, and 57 there Saturday afternoon. UK's football game is going to be chilly. It'll be dry. So will EKU for homecoming as well. So there's a lot going on this weekend, but it's going to be chilly. Grab that coat.
And the one good thing about frost is hopefully that helps all the people that deal with allergies, right?
Yes, and the rain helps too. So we have two things working for us.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for that. All the dry plants, because of all the dry weather. All right, 5:49 is our time this morning.
So you wouldn't think much of one letter left out of a word. I feel bad for this guy.
Well, I would, because this happens, right?
Yes,
but you won't believe what this anchor ended up saying when one little letter was left out of the teleprompter. Just listen to this.
Check your panties. About 175,000 rice.
Now, check your what now?
I think that was supposed to be pantries.
Okay.
I can't even laugh. I do this stuff all the time.
Well, sure. So do I. It was indeed supposed to be pantries. The anchor was reading a segment about a rice cooker recall when that letter R got left off of the teleprompter, leading to that hilarious mistake. Unfortunately, spell check couldn't help the producers out on that one, so that happened. A little embarrassment there.
Well.
Oh, well, sure. Like you said, you just make the best of it and move on, right?
And check your pantries.
Be a good idea.
So coming up, you'll get the stories making news at this hour.
Going to check traffic for you this morning. We'll see how things are moving along out there in the rain, which is an issue, and some health news and a lot more. And it is so good to have you with us this morning here on WKYT. Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. 5:53 is our time, early on your Friday. That's the best part of today, right?
Yes, but it is one of those days. It's raining outside. You almost just want to stay home. But
it is that. A little chilly out there as well.
Chilly. So let's take a look at some of the stories we're working on at this hour.
Our news team is busy right now. 2 people are in the hospital after a shooting last night in Lexington. Police say it happened about 8:30 on Red Mile Road. Minutes after the shooting, police say they found the gun that they believe was used in the shooting. They then surrounded a nearby townhouse where they thought a possible suspect could be, but the suspect got away. Police do not know the person's name and they don't have a description of him, but they do have a lot of questions that are ongoing.
Police say an SUV driver who hit and injured 3 children at a bus stop in Louisville yesterday morning does not have any insurance or registration, and they say they will now be charging that driver. Police say 2 of the children that were hit are in critical condition. The 3rd is in serious condition. The driver of the SUV is also in serious condition.
And it is Sea Blue Day at Keeneland. UK students, alumni, and faculty and staff all get free general admission today to celebrate a fun-filled fall weekend of racing. UK basketball and football. All of this going on. A real triple threat there.
It is a great weekend.
Gates open up at 11 o'clock today. Post time for the first race at Keeneland will be at 1:05.
One of those fun fall weekends here in Lexington.
You got it. It's going to be nice. Chilly, but nice.
Yes. So, leading this morning's national news, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump campaign in must-win states today after roasting each other at a Catholic charity dinner in New York, and it was definitely entertaining, I would say.
They sort of tried to be nice.
Yes.
Trump was roundly booed at the event last night for blasting Clinton as corrupt, while Clinton attacked Trump for his alleged ties to Russia. Following the final debate this week, the Republican nominee has pledged to accept the outcome of the general election if he wins. An 11th death is now being attributed to faulty Takata airbags. Federal officials say the 50-year-old California woman died in a car crash last month while driving a recalled 2001 Honda Civic. The car was among dozens on a list of those most susceptible to airbag failure.
So let's get a check this hour in today's traffic trouble spots with Live Drive Traffic.
See what's going on as we check the region for you this morning. And here we go with a look at that. And throughout the region right now, I-75, I-64, everything is clear. US 27 there down through Nicholasville, on down into southern Kentucky and Somerset, looking good. What we do have going on in almost all of the area is rain this morning. It's moving through sort of in bands. And so as we look at the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government live drive camera at Rose and Euclid. You can see the wet streets, so be aware of that this morning and just that chillier air. So
yes, be careful when you head out this morning because it is slick out there.
And let's check in with Micah to see what we're going to be facing with the weekend. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. The bulk of the rain as this front's pushing on through is over toward eastern Kentucky. We're taking a bit of a break in some spots with some mist moving on through, and then we get the wraparound moisture. Some of these are pretty heavy downpours too. There'll be gusty showers as you're traveling early this morning and trying to walk outside. From Lexington over to Louisville, really central, north, and western zones, it's just going to be a wet go at it as you're trying to get out on the roads. Kids going off to the bus stop. It's not going to be a fun morning for you. Once we get to the afternoon and evening, it looks better, but much, much cooler. We'll go over that with another hour of WKYT News.